Hey, what's up? Brian here with the Holy Roller playing craps on a cruise to earn a free cruise. And today we're going to talk about some pressing patterns. Starting with 44 inside, that's a common bet. 44 inside, how would you press it? Let's go.
Welcome to the Holy Roller, where it's all about playing craps, earning free cruises, and a whole lot more. Thanks for watching. Now let's get rolling.
All right, basically, you know, we won't roll the dice today, but I'm going to talk about pressing patterns so that you can practice them when you're at the table. One of the key things to do whenever you're at a craps table is know what your next move is. It doesn't matter what rolls on the dice, but if you have these numbers, let's say the dice come out, let's see what happens. It's a 6. Okay, so the point is 6, okay? Now I won't roll the dice, but now you wanna do 44 inside and you wanna say including. So throw me $50 and you'll be standing there or somewhere around here and you'll just put $50 right here on this line, okay? And then you say 44 inside, including the point. So 44 inside, including. All right, so they'll take that, they'll give you $6 change, okay? There you go. And then they'll set you up. 44 inside, that's 10, 12, 12, and 10, okay? Just like that, 44 inside. Now, this I'm assuming you already got out of the hand. So maybe you did 66 and then you regressed. You know, there's stuff that you could do before this. But if you were just gonna play 44 inside, the key is to get out of your hand in 2 hits. And so with that, you can do a system called double tap, for example. And we'll talk about pressing patterns, but let me show you this double tap and the way it is. So press means double. And so if any one of these hit, it's gonna pay $14. And if you said press on any one of these numbers, if it was a 5 or 9, they would make it look like 20 and they would give you $4 change. If it was a 6 or an 8, they would make it look like 24 and then they would give you, let's do the 8 instead, sorry. They would make it look like 24 and then they would give you 2 change, okay. But with double tap and any kind of like pressing system, instead of press, I would suggest that you do what's called a power press. Now you don't tell the dealers, power press, you know, you just have to tell them what you want the amount to be. So if you say press, that means double. You don't have to tell them the amount, you just say press, they'll do it. But if you're gonna power press, that pretty much means going up to the next level. So a 6 and 8, it's a multiple of 6. These are a multiple of 5, okay? So for example, sometimes, let's go back, sometimes what they'll say, like on a 5 and 9, let's say it hits and it pays $14. A lot of times when these pay $14, they'll say, give me $1, okay? And the reason why they want you to give them $1 is because they want to give you 15 for 1. They're making change for you, okay? So on a 5 and 9, throw in $1 and say, make it look like 25. And so say it was a 9, you would throw in $1, right, to get your 15. Then they would put it right there and that would look like a $25 bet. Okay, that's 1 hit. Now, if a 9 hits again, that's gonna pay $35. And then you say, take it back down to 10. That's 2 hits on 1 number and you got your $50 back. Well, you only had 44, but you got $50 back. So you're up $6, right? Based on this, okay? That's called double tap. You want 1 to hit twice. Okay, so now let's say, and here's your $1 back, by the way. Let's say you have the 6 or the 8 hit. Let's say it was the 8. They would probably say, give me $1. But before that happens, you want to throw in either $5 or $4. So if you have $4, throw it in, okay? And if you have 5, throw it in, but I see you have 4. Okay, there you go. You have 4. I know you can't see that on the video, but you do. You have 4. Okay, so throw in $4, okay? Right when the 8 hits, you throw in 4 and you say, make it look like 30 or take it to 30. Okay, that's easier to say because you want to say phrases quick, fast, and in a hurry. Right when the dice hit, right? They hit an 8 and you say, make it look like 30. Throw this in and really you just kind of right here, you put it there. make it look like 30, okay? Or take it to 30. And what they would do is your winnings, 14 plus 4 plus what was here, all equals $30. So same thing happens where they take it to 30 and say an 8 hits, it pays that. You throw in $2, and say, make the 8 look like 12, right? So they take it back down to 12 and they give you your $55. You could throw in 3 and say to make it look like 18, kind of go up a level if you want, but you still get your money back, right? So I hope you're following along. Let's go back to 44 inside. And remember, if a 5 or 9 hit, you throw in $1, you say make it look like a quarter or make it look like 25. If a 6 or 8 hit, you throw in $4 and you say make it look like 30. Okay, simple as that. It's better than pressing. You are adding a little bit more, but it's called a power press, okay? Now, let's say this happens, it's a 9. Okay, what are you gonna do if it's a 9? You're gonna throw in $1. Make it look like a quarter. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Okay, they will say. And now a 5 hits. What do? Throw in a dollar and say make it look like a quarter, right? So then that makes it look, that's a quarter. Now you have $50 here, right? But that's $30, okay, or so. It's $28 because you threw in $2. When the third one hit, now if any of these hit, you know you got your money back, right? Because you take it back down. It pays like this and you go like that, right? Simple as that, right? What if a 6 or 8 hit? Okay? So, this would be your third hit, by the way. I like to get the money back in 2 hits or less, but if you had to go, this would be a 3 hit and regress kind of system. Because if this hits, you can take, watch this. Watch this. This hits, you take that, you go like that. Yes, you have your 50 there. However, you can say take my 5 down to 10. Whoops. Take my 5 down to 10 and you would have, what is that? $65, okay? And so, but let's say we leave this here and let's say we leave that there. Taking the 35 back. Okay, we're back here. We got 2 of them pressed up and an 8 hits. It pays $14. If you have 2 of them, you don't need to do a third one for a double tap. So you wouldn't throw in the $4. You wouldn't throw it in and say, make it look like 30 because you already have 2, right? So what you would say is same bet, meaning you want to leave these the same or leave this the same. They will give you 14. At that point, throw in $10 because here's 10, right? Throw in $10. And say, make my 5 and 9 look like 10 each. Now you have your $50 back after 3 hits. I hope that makes sense. Let me do it one more time, okay? And that is 3 hits, okay? Again, and I'll just take it from here, I'll put a stack right here. This is coming from you, okay? A 9 hits, you throw in $1. It makes it look like a quarter, right? A 5 hits, you throw in $1, right? And it makes it look like a quarter. An 8 hits, you say same bet. Then you throw in $10 and you say, and you could just stack it up. When they pay you, you put $10 on it and push it right back out and say, can you make, and make sure to put it here on the table, right on the line, okay? If you put it right there, they will not let the dice roll and they will hold the dice right up here and they won't let the dice roll because this is not a proper bet. They will stop the game. Not you, they will. Okay, the last thing you want to do is have them pay you and then the dice are out and then you going, oh, can you take my, and you're trying to talk. So that's why right when they pay you, so look, you have $10 in your hand because that can be your move, right? If you're here. You have $10 in your hand, you're ready, right? They're getting ready to pay you 14. They pass you 14. You take the ones, put the 10 on the top and press it and put it on this line right there, and you say, make my 5 and 9 look like 10 each. Make my 5 and 9 look like 10 each, okay? And what they'll do is they'll say, oh, they'll take this and they'll give you your 50 back, right? They just, so that's how you want to take that move and make that move. Okay, now we're back at 44, okay? Now let's talk about pressing patterns and that's pretty much double tap, but let's talk about pressing patterns. A lot of times what people do is they always want to press one unit, so 14, so say an 8 hits, and they say, press the 8 1 unit, and then they go to 18, right? And then they bring back 8, right? And then the 8 hits again, pays 21. And when it pays 21, they're like, press the 8 1 unit. Okay, now I'm of the opinion that you have to make it easy for the dealers, okay? Trying to make it easy for the dealers, yeah, 1 unit right here is fine. But going from 18 to 24, don't do so much. Okay, so let's rewind enough to where you get $10 back. You press the 6 and 8. It's always better, I think, unless you're shooting for one number, to just go after one number. If you're gonna press the sister numbers. So the 4, 10, 5 and 9, 6 and 8. So instead of just pressing the 8, press the 6 and 8. If you get paid on the 9 and you want to press both the 5 and 9, then say press my 5 and 9 1 unit each. If you're doing 1 unit, this is my point. If you're doing 1 unit, just do both of them. Unless you're going to do a full press on whatever number it is. But we talked about it, how you might as well just add $1 and go to 25 instead of a press, okay? So that's that. Stay with me. Okay, here we go. Now, remember you press these both, right? Watch this. If you want to continue to press, this right here will pay $21. I got to get more ones. I'm going to borrow them from you. Where'd they all go? Oh, I guess they're all out here. This pays $21. Now watch this. You throw in $3 this time. Remember when it was on the 8 or the 6 for $12, you would throw in $4 to take it to 30. But if you have both of these to 18 and it pays 21, you throw in $3. Watch this. You just throw in $3 and you say make them both look like 30. The 18 and 18 plus the 21 win plus your $3 is $60. What does that mean? That means that you're throwing in $3 now makes these $30 bets that pay $35. Now watch this. Remember we talked about that regression? So now it pays $35. Throw in, sorry, these are messed up. Throw in $1. Throw in $1, okay? You get paid $35, throw in $1. All right, so you throw in $1. What does that make? 36. What do? Make my 6 and 8 look like 18 each. 36 is 18 each. You bring 60 back to your rack. So for those of you that I was showing at a $10 table, maybe you're at a $15 table and you are wanting to do the same system, or maybe you have 66 inside, for example. If you have 66 inside and the 8 hits or the 5 or 9, it doesn't matter. Any one of these hit, they pay $21. If you throw in $3, you can make both of your 6 and your 8 look like 30 each. The other thing you could do is you can make 5 and 9, both of them, look like a quarter each, $25 each. Whichever ones you want to go. Of course, at 66, you can also just get a 4 and 10. I won't forget these. We'll talk about these. Why don't we talk about them now, okay? If you're going to bet the 4 and the 10 for $10, I'm of the opinion, and I always try to remind myself to never take the first hit. Never, 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 never. So it pays $18. But if it pays $18 for this $10 bet, it's only $18. I would rather take this to a quarter, okay? So that's what you would do on a $10 4 or 10. You would say, take it to a quarter. Okay, now what that means is, look, it goes to a quarter. Sometimes you have to pay up front, especially on a cruise, you have to pay the VIG up front. It's a vigorish, it's a tax. It's kind of like a commission for making that bet, and it pays better, okay? So it goes to a quarter. You get $2 back to your rack. And then if the 4 hits again, watch this. That they gave you that $1, they gave you 2, but you hold 1 in your hand because if the 4 hits, you're gonna throw in $1 for this bet, and they're gonna give you 50. Okay, now if you wanna take it back down to 10, throw in $11. Okay, watch this. So remember, $10 bet, you can win 18, or you could go for 2 hits, meaning that you went from 18 or from 10 to 25, and then from 25 you throw in $11 and you say, take my 4 back to 10. They go like this, they pay this out, then they switch these, and you have $75 off of your $10 bet or your $11 bet or $12 bet because you had to throw in some. So when you think about it, $75 is much better than $18. And that works the same on the 4 and 10. Okay, one more time. We'll do that on the 4 and 10. So the easy move is once it first hits, if you have a $10 4 or 10, all you do is say take it to a quarter. Buy it for a quarter, whatever you want to say. Buy it for 25. Make it look like 25. There's slang words and slang talk, but that is one of the dice terms, is take it to a quarter. $25 quarter, okay? $5 nickel, $1 penny. That's how they call these 3. All right. So with all that being said, you have $10 here on the 4 and 10. Take it to a quarter. Okay. So that's all you have to say, and they're going to give you $2, and it'll look like a quarter. Simple as that. Okay. Now, if you're at a $15 table and you have to have 15, so this is $96 across, okay? $96 across. If you had a 4 or 10, I would still just take it to a quarter. Just take it to a quarter. But watch this. This pays 27. So at the $15 level, much like we did with these on the $15 level, I want you to watch. So it pays 27, and I'm gonna pay it like this so you can see. All right, pays 27. Make the 4 and 10 look like a quarter. At the $15 level, just do both of them, okay? Because look, there's that, there's that. Here's the 2 VIGs. You get $5 back, and both of them look like a quarter. And you know they're gonna pay $49 or $50 for 1, okay? And so then remember, you started with 30 and you're getting 50, right? So really 2 hits, but also there's only 3 ways to make a 4 and 3 ways to make a 10. If you're gonna play the 4 or the 10, I like to play them together because that's 6 combinations of the dice instead of just working off of 3 combinations of the dice. I'd rather double because it could be 4 or a 10. So yes, 4 and 10 might be good if you're gonna bet the 4 and 10 at the $15 level. You just press them, okay? If you're at the $10 level, just press the one that hits. Okay, I hope that makes sense. And so that's at the $15 level or a $15 table. Okay, let's go back to 44 inside. All right, so here we are at 44 inside. Now that we're at 44 inside, take your $5. Now that you're at 44 inside, there's another thing that you could do that I think is really fun. Okay, if I was at 44 inside and anything hit, any one of these, they all pay 14. Okay, I would automatically say press the 6 and 8 1 unit each. I would automatically do that. So I'd get $2, and they would take my 6 and 8, make them look like 18 each. Okay. The next move I would do is if one of these hit or if these hit. If one of these hit right here, by the way, a 6 or an 8, what I would do, it would pay 21. The first thing I'd say is give me a 4 and 10. So I get a 4 and 10, okay? I'd take my $1 back. If one of these hit, I would say press the 5 and 9 because if it pays 14, I don't have enough to get the 4 and 10. Only a $21 payout would have $20 to pay for the 4 and 10. And that's without throwing in any extra money. So now we have there, and now we're back to 90, well, not 96 because these are only at 10. So if this one hits, I say take it to a quarter. If this one hits, I say take it to a quarter. You could, if any one of these hit, you could, it pays 21. You could say make my 4 and 10 look like 15 each. Then you're at 96 across and all of these press together. So just press them together, make them look the same. This is gonna be easier for the dealers. It's also gonna be more options for your payout. Now, some people might say, no, 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 no. Only bet what's rolling or what's hitting. Okay, if you wanna do that, then I would suggest, now there's different ways because a lot of people like the double tap, you know, you just go all the way up on one number that hit. The other way that I would do it, if I was at, even if I was at, let's say 64, okay? Let's say we're at 64, which is pretty much $10 level, and that is 64 across, including. If I was wanting to pick one number or one number that is rolling, and I was at the table for a long time and there was always a 9, and it seemed like the 9 was hitting all the time, why would I bet all this if I really think the 9's gonna hit? What I would do is I would bet all this, and whenever I would get paid, okay, 4 or 10 would pay 18, right? If you want to pick a number, 9. I'd say make my 9 look like a quarter, right? And I'd take $3 back. And then let's say the 5 hit, and that's $14. I'd say put it on the 9, right? They'll give me these $4 and they put it on the 9, and now it looks like $35 and it pays 49, right? And then let's say, and I know that should be yours, but I'm running out of ones here. Let's say a 10 hits. All right, there's another $18. Oh, there's a 1. There's another $18. And what are you gonna do? Put it on the 9. All of a sudden, the 9 is $50 now. Pick your number. This is what I call the towering 9, right? It's the towering 9. We're towering the 9. Okay, finally, the 9 hit. Pays $70. The 9 hit pays 70, right? Make my 9 look like 10. Look at this. Everything's back. You started with 64. So the idea is that you're only collecting on the 9, and then you're taking the 9 all the way back down. So you have some profit, but it's also a fun game because if you're playing with other people, you know, you can see who goes first, and they can pick the 6, and they can start putting everything on the 6 or everything on the point. You can pick the 9, somebody else can pick the 8. I usually do towering 8. I just tower the 8. If I ever do this right here, I just put everything on the 8, and when the 8 hits, I collect it and take it back down, and I walk with some money. So that's just a little pressing video. It's a pressing video. I had to get it out. But it kind of covered the double tap a little bit, but basically know what you're gonna do when the dice roll, okay? And so let's say it rolls and it is a 6. Wow, that would have been point hit, right? But okay, now we're back on a 6. And here we go, 5. A 5 hits, it pays $14. What would your move be? My move would be press the 6 and 8, 1 unit each. Even though the 5 hit, I would press the 6 and 8, 1 unit each, because I want to start from the inside out when it comes to bringing these up, bringing these up, bringing these up. However, if the 4 and 10 hit, because all I have to do is say, take it to a quarter, then I would just take it to a quarter, take it to a quarter, whatever. Or once you get to 96, it makes it really easy to keep them together. So you could say, if the 5 hit, you could say press the 5 and 9. You know, so that brings, you get 14. You get, throw me 1. You get 15 for 1. Then you can press it like that. Let's see what hits next. If something hits, there's a 9. All right, that's great. So the 9 hit, right? It pays 21, right? You could throw in $1, and that's $22, right? Look at this. 1 unit here, 1 unit here, and where are you at now? 96 across. Now, take them both to a quarter. Take them both to a quarter. take them both to 30 by throwing in $3. I hope that makes sense. I hope I didn't lose you. Watch this video over and over if you have to. But yeah, it's all about pressing, knowing where you're gonna go. I'll do another video sometime that goes even up higher, but I think this is a good start. If you can get to this level and keep just kind of pressing, meaning pressing them together, then you know, this will give you a bunch of green chips. Next time I'll do a video like this and we'll get to black chips, okay? How about that? All right, until next time, I hope to see you cruising and rolling on a craps table soon. See ya.